Hello, little friends. My name is Maya, and today I'm going to tell you the story of Kito, the elephant. Once upon a time, in the sunny lands of the African savanna, there was a little elephant named Kito. Kito had big, curious ears, a trunk that swung in every direction, and he loved to play with his friends. His feet were chubby and left deep footprints in the red earth of the savanna. Kito lived with his family near a big river that flowed between the trees. His mother, the elephant Amara, always told him, "Kito, my son, you may be small now, but you have a huge heart. That's what really matters." Every day, Kito woke up very early when the sun was just rising and painting the sky orange, pink, and gold. The clouds looked like colored cotton floating in the sky. He would run to the river to take his morning bath, splashing water everywhere with his trunk, making the droplets shine like diamonds in the sunlight. The little birds sang their morning songs, and colorful butterflies danced among the flowers. After his bath, Kito liked to play with the soft mud on the river bank. He would cover himself all over with mud to protect himself from the hot sun and ended up looking like a chocolate elephant. His mother would laugh when she saw him like that. "Kito, you're even browner than the earth." One day, while playing near a big acacia tree, those trees shaped like umbrellas that are so common in the savanna, Kito saw his friends chatting excitedly. He walked over with his small, curious steps. "Tomorrow, the Great Savanna Race is going to happen," said Zara, the striped zebra, her black and white stripes shining under the sun. "That's true," Jabari the warthog added. "All the animals in the savanna are going to take part. They say this year it's going to be the biggest race of all." "I've been practicing for days already," said Zuri, an elegant antelope with golden fur. "I really want to win that flower crown. The butterflies worked all week to make the crown." "Except," he added, "Kolf, a small meerkat who always knew all the news. They say it has flowers of every color. Red, yellow, purple, and blue." Kito got very excited. He had always dreamed of taking part in a race. He imagined himself crossing the finish line with everyone applauding. But soon, his excitement turned into worry, and he lowered his big ears, which almost touched the ground. "I really wanted to take part, but I'm too small and clumsy. My legs are short and I can't run as fast as you all. How am I going to manage?" Kito sighed, looking at his chubby little paws. "Kito!" "Don't say that," said Kofi, climbing onto a rock to be at eye level with the little elephant. "You have so many good qualities," said your friend Nia. "A giraffe with a very long neck and golden spots that look like drawings in the sky." She lowered her head very slowly until she was close to the little elephant. Her long eyelashes blinked affectionately. "Kito, it doesn't matter if you're fast or slow. What matters is to have fun and do your best. Every race is an adventure." "That's right," said Naya with her gentle and caring voice. "She's absolutely right," agreed Django the clown monkey, swinging from a branch while eating a banana. "Besides, each of us has something special. I have my strong arms to swing through the trees. Naya has her long neck to reach the highest leaves. And you, Kito? You have your strong trunk, which can carry heavy things. And your giant ears, which work like fans. And you're the bravest of all of us," added Zara. "Remember when you scared away that snake that was frightening the baby birds?" "Babies? You weren't afraid?" Kito thought for a moment, swinging his ears from side to side like he did when he was concentrating. He remembered all the adventures he had experienced with his friends. The day they helped the old turtle cross the river. The time they found wild honey and shared it with everyone. The afternoon they danced in the rain until they were soaked. "You're right," said Kito, raising his trunk high. "I'm going to take part. Yes, I'll do my best." "That's right!" all the friends shouted together. Kito spent the rest of the day practicing. He ran back and forth across the clearing, his little feet going thump, thump, thump on the dry earth. He jumped over small stones, even when he tripped and fell, which happened a few times, but he always got up smiling. He crossed little streams, making the water splash. His friends cheered him on. "That's it, Kito. You're doing great. Lift your legs higher." Use your trunk to keep your balance. When the sun began to set, painting the sky orange, red, and purple, Kito was tired but happy. His mother was waiting for him by the river, with a dinner of fresh leaves and sweet fruits. I heard you're going to take part in the race tomorrow, said Amara, stroking her son with her trunk. I'm very proud of you, my brave little one. Mom, what if I come in last place? Kito asked, a little worried. Kito, let me tell you a secret, said Amara, sitting down next to her son as they watched the first stars appear in the sky. When I was young, I also took part in a race. And do you know what happened? I came in last place. But I learned that the most important thing isn't finishing first. The most important thing is the journey, the friends we make, the lessons we learn along the way. Those are the real victories. Kito hugged his mother with his trunk and fell asleep, dreaming about the race, with the wind blowing against his ears, and his friends by his side. The next day, when the sun rose, painting the sky with beautiful colors, gold, pink, orange, all the animals of the savannah gathered on the Great Plain for the race. It was an incredible spectacle. There were zebras with their perfect stripes, giraffes with their towering necks, warthogs with their shiny tusks, and ostriches with soft feathers. Hyenas that laughed nervously, monkeys that couldn't keep still, and even the old rhinoceros named Bwana, who had lived for many, many years. The young of all the animals had come to watch, as well as the elders. Colorful birds perched in the trees around to get a good view of the race. Even the turtles and crocodiles had come out of the water to see the big event. The wise lion Tal, who wasn't going to run because he was already very old and his paws hurt when he ran, climbed up onto a large rock so that everyone could see and hear him. His mane was white as cotton, and his eyes were wise and gentle. Welcome, friends of the savannah. Tal spoke with his deep voice, which echoed across the plain. Today is the day of the Great Savanna Race. This race takes place once a year, since the time of my grandparents and the grandparents of my grandparents. It is a tradition that celebrates our community, our friendship, and our beautiful savannah. Beautiful. Everyone applauded and made their sounds. The zebras neighed, the monkeys screamed, the birds sang. And Kito raised his trunk and let out a loud trumpet. Now, let me explain the rules. He continued like this. The race starts here, on this line marked with yellow flowers. You will run across the golden plain where the dry grass shines like gold. Then, you will go around the giant baobab tree, the oldest and wisest tree in our savannah. Next, you will cross the valley of stones, where you must be very careful not to trip. Finally, you will return here to the finish line marked with red flowers. Whoever arrives first wins this beautiful flower crown that our butterfly friends made with so much care. Tal held up the flower crown, and it was truly beautiful. It had flowers of every imaginable color, tied together with soft vines. The butterflies who made it flew around, proud of their work. But remember, Tal paused, looking at each animal. The most important thing is not to win. The most important thing is to run with honor, to help each other if necessary, and to enjoy this beautiful day that was made for all of us. All the animals lined up at the starting line. Kito was there, along with Zara and Kofi. He was nervous. His little legs were trembling a bit, and his heart was beating thump-thump. Thump-thump very fast inside his chest. He looked back and saw his mother, Amara, waving her trunk. And her eyes said, I believe in you. When he looked to the side and saw Anaya winking at him with encouragement and all his other friends smiling, he took a deep breath, filling his lungs with the fresh morning air. And he got ready. Get set, said Tao. And everyone tensed up. Ready to go. Aim, the old lion continued. And silence fell over the savannah. Even the birds stopped singing. Go! Roared the lion. And off they all went. It was like an explosion of colors and sounds. The zebras shot ahead with their striped legs, running so fast that their stripes seemed to blur together. The antelopes leapt gracefully, their golden bodies flying through the air. The ostriches ran so fast that their legs were just a blur, kicking up clouds of red dust. The hyenas ran and laughed at the same time. The monkeys ran and did acrobatics. And Kito? Well, Kito? He went at his own pace with his chubby little legs, doing the best he could. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Come on, Kito, you can do it! His friends shouted from afar, and their cheers filled him with energy. Go, my son, he heard his mother's voice. The golden plain was beautiful to see. The dry grass shone under the sun, like thousands of strands of gold. The wind made the grass ripple like waves in the sea. Kito felt the hot sun on his back, but he didn't mind, because he was having fun. When they reached the golden plain, the sun was very hot, like a ball of fire in the cloudless blue sky. Some animals started to get tired and thirsty. Their tongues were hanging out and they were panting. But Kito, with his big ears, would flap them back and forth, creating a pleasant little breeze that cooled him down. He had learned this trick from his mother. It's so hot, complained Kofi the meerkat, who was running beside Kito. Do you want me to give you a breeze? Kito offered and started flapping his ears in Kofi's direction. Ah, what? So nice! Thank you, Kito, said the relieved meerkat. Soon, they arrived at the great baobab, the oldest and wisest tree in the savannah. Its trunk was so thick that it would take 10 adult elephants holding hands to hug it completely. Its bark was smooth and gray, and its branches looked like roots, reaching up to the sky. They said this tree was over 1,000 years old and had witnessed thousands of races like this one. Everyone went around the baobab, and Kito paused for just a second to admire the majestic tree and touch its trunk with his trunk, feeling its ancient energy. On the highest branch, a songbird sang a beautiful melody that echoed across the savannah. Have a good race, little elephant, sang the bird. Thank you, replied Kito, smiling before continuing on his journey. Now came the hardest part, the Valley of Stones. This was a place where the ground was covered with stones, of all sizes, some small like eggs, others large like melons, and some enormous, as big as Kito himself. You had to be very careful not to trip. Zara, the zebra, who was in the lead with her swift legs, was so focused on running fast that she didn't see a large rock right in front of her. Her hoof struck the rock and she stumbled, falling to the ground with a loud plop. She tried to get up but let out a cry of pain. Oh, oh, Zara cried, holding its front paw. My paw hurts so much. I don't think I can walk. The other animals kept running. They really wanted to win the race, and their minds were focused only on the finish line and the beautiful flower crown. The clouds of dust they raised grew farther and farther away. But when Kits arrived at the Valley of Stones, going at his slower pace, and saw his friend Zara on the ground, with tears streaming down her striped snout, he stopped. Immediately, her heart ached when she saw her friend hurt. Zara? Are you well? He asked, worried. Approaching cautiously. I think I twisted my ankle. Kito, said Zara, trying to be brave, but her voice was trembling. It hurts a lot when I try to get up. You should keep going in the race. Don't worry about me. No way, said Kito, determined. Friends. Don't leave friends behind. My mom always taught me that. But Kito, you were doing so well. And the race? And the flower crown? Zara protested. The race will go on, with or without me coming in first. But I'm not going to keep going without making sure you're okay. Kito replied firmly. Kito examined Zara's paw carefully, gently touching it with his trunk. It was hurt, but he thought it wasn't broken, just bruised. Can you climb onto my back if I help you? He asked. I think so. But are you sure? I am heavy, Zara said. I am absolutely certain. Kito replied, smiling. Very carefully, Kito used his trunk to help Zara to her feet. The zebra limped until it was beside the little elephant. And then, with a little push, she climbed onto Kito's broad back. She settled in, taking care not to hurt her friend. Hold tight to my ear. I'll take you to the end of the race, said Kito, determined. Kito, You're the best friend anyone could have, said Zara, her voice full of gratitude. And so, even carrying Zara, even going even slower than before, Kito kept going, one step at a time. His little legs worked hard, his feet sank a bit deeper into the earth because of the extra weight. But he didn't complain. He climbed the hills. One step, and another. He went down the valleys carefully, slowly. No rush, always talking to Zara so she wouldn't feel sad or worried. Look over there, Zara. Do you see that colorful bird? Kito pointed with his trunk. It's a little bird building its nest. Look how perfectly it weaves the twigs together. How beautiful, Zara replied, forgetting her pain for a moment. And look at those purple flowers over there. They only open when the sun is high in the sky. My mother says they're called noon flowers. I had never noticed them before. I'm always running too fast, Zara reflected. Sometimes going slowly lets us see beautiful things we miss when we go too fast, Kito said wisely. They passed by a group of giraffes drinking water from a pond, their long necks bending gracefully. They passed by a family of elephants who greeted them by raising their trunks. They saw a group of ostriches with their cute chicks. They watched a chameleon change color right in front of them. You know, Kito, Zara said after a while, I was so worried about winning the race that I wasn't even having fun. I was only thinking about the finish line. But now, going slowly with you, I'm seeing how beautiful our savannah is. And I'm realizing that having a friend like you is more valuable than any flower crown. You're a great friend too, Kito replied, feeling his heart fill with joy. The sun was already starting to set in the sky when Kito finally spotted the finish line. All the other animals had finished a long time ago. They were resting in the shade of the trees, drinking cool water, talking about the race. Jabari, the warthog, was wearing the flower crown on his head, looking very proud and happy. When they saw Kito coming over the horizon, carrying Zara on his back, something surprising happened. First, one animal noticed, then another, and another, and soon everyone was looking in their direction. Nya the giraffe was the first to stand up. Look, it's Kito! And he's carrying Zara. All the animals stood up at once. And then, they started running toward Kito. Not to compete, but to meet him. When they got close to him, they started clapping and shouting, making their loudest sounds of joy. Kito, Kito, Kito! They all sang together, stomping their paws, wings, and tails on the ground, creating a drum-like rhythm. You're amazing! Shouted Django the monkey, doing somersaults of joy. You're a hero! Kofi, knock it down! Ah! Surikato! We are so proud of you. Nya the giraffe said. With tears of happiness in his eyes, Kito was confused. He had not won the race. He had come in last place. Why was everyone so happy and proud? The old lion? Tal approached slowly, his eyes shining with a special glow. It was the glow of wisdom and pride. He placed his large paw on the little elephant's shoulder. Kito, my young friend, said Tal, with his deep, emotion-filled voice. You didn't win the race in speed, but you won something much more important. You showed that being a true friend is something you can do. It's more valuable than any victory. You showed that having a kind heart is more important than having fast legs. You reminded us of a lesson we sometimes forget. It doesn't matter who gets there first. What matters is how we make the journey and how we treat our companions along the way. Jabari, the warthog, the winner, who was wearing the flower crown on his head, came closer. He carefully took off the crown and looked at it for a moment. Then, with a huge smile, he walked up to Kito and placed the flower crown on his head. This crown belongs to you, Kito. You are the true winner today, said Jabari. And there wasn't a hint of sadness in his voice, only genuine joy. I may have crossed the finish line first, but you crossed it doing something much more important, helping a friend. All the animals agreed with murmurs and nods. Zara got down from Kito's back, limping slightly. But, smiling broadly, she gave the little elephant a big hug. Thank you, Kito. You saved my day. Actually, you taught me something very important today, Zara said. What? Kito asked curiously. Do you sometimes want to lose? It can be winning if you do the right thing, Zara replied wisely. Naya, the giraffe, lowered her long neck and gave Kito a little kiss on the top of his head. Jengo did a triple somersault in the air. Kofi climbed onto Kito's shoulder and did a little dance. Even Buana, the old rhinoceros, came closer and spoke in his hoarse voice. Little Kito, I have lived many years on this savanna. I've seen many races, but I've never seen anything as beautiful as what you did today. Kito's mother, Amara, came running, her tears of pride shining like diamonds. My son, my little big son. She hugged him with her trunk. You made me so proud today. Not for winning or losing the race, but for showing that your heart is as big as any adult elephant's. That night, all the animals of the savannah had a big party under the bright stars of the African sky. The stars twinkled like thousands of glowing fireflies. The full moon was like a great silver lantern lighting up the savannah. They danced to the sound of drums played by the monkeys. They sang old songs, songs that told stories of courage and friendship. They told stories around a campfire, the flames dancing and casting playful shadows on the trees nearby. Kito was sitting in the center with his crown of flowers on his head, surrounded by all his friends. Zara was by his side, her paw bandaged with medicinal leaves that the savannah's doctor had prepared. Kito, said Tal, the old lion, today you have learned one of life's most important lessons. Will you keep that in your heart? I will, Kito promised. I've learned that it doesn't matter if I'm big or small, fast or slow. What really matters is having a kind heart and taking care of your friends. Exactly, Tao smiled. And always remember, the greatest victories are not measured by the speed of our legs, but by the kindness in our hearts. The party went on into the night. They told more stories, laughed, played, and celebrated not just the race, but the friendship that united them. The animal children played hide and seek among the trees. The elders talked and reminisced about their own youthful adventures. When the moon was high in the sky and the stars shone brightly, Kito looked up at the starry sky, wearing his crown of flowers, still wearing it on his head, with his friends all around him. He felt a deep joy inside his chest. A joy that didn't come from winning a race, but from having done the right thing. From being a good friend, from listening to his heart. He remembered all the beautiful things he had seen during the race. Things he would have missed if he had been running too fast. The little bird building its nest. The purple flowers at noon. Oh, chameleon changing colors. The giraffes drinking water gracefully. He realized that sometimes the best adventures are the ones we take slowly, paying attention to every detail, every moment. Zara came closer, still limping a little. You know, Kito, I've won many races in my life. I have shelves full of trophies at home, but none of them mean as much as the friendship you showed me today. That's something that I'll keep forever, in my heart. And I learned that I don't need to be the fastest to be special. Kito replied, I just need to be myself and do my best. As the night went on and the campfire dwindled, leaving only hot embers glowing like tiny suns, the animals started to settle down to sleep. But before that, each of them stopped by Kito to say something kind. You inspired me to be kinder, said one. You taught me that speed isn't everything, said another. You reminded me why friendship is important, said yet another. And so, little Kito the elephant slept happily that night under the starry savannah sky, dreaming of new adventures. He dreamed that he flew among the stars, swam in crystal clear rivers, and danced with the clouds. But most of all, he dreamed of his friends, of shared laughter, and of many happy days ahead. The flower crown was by his side, already beginning to wilt, but that didn't matter. Because Kito had learned that the true prizes are friendship, kindness, and the courage to do what is right. Those never wither. They remain in the heart forever, shining like the stars that never fade in the savannah sky. And in the beautiful African savannah, where the sun rises every day, painting the sky gold. Where the animals live in harmony. where the ancient trees hold stories from thousands of years ago. The legend of the little elephant, Kito, who lost the race but gained something much greater, became a story told to all the generations that followed. And whenever a young animal felt too small, too slow, or not good enough, the elders would tell the story of Kito, reminding them that the size of the heart is more important than the size of the body, and that true victory lies in doing good. In the African savannah, where the stars shine the brightest, and friendship is the greatest treasure. The stories go on generation after generation, teaching that love and kindness are the most powerful forces in the world.